It's the greatest hits, 93.5 3BO FM. Sam Hargraves here for the 3BO Morning Show. We're talking Central Vic. Thanks to the Metro and Pugs, Bendigo's best happy hour starts 4 p.m. this afternoon. Great price drinks, free nibbles, monster jackpot raffle. The man sitting across from me on the 3BO Morning Show now would probably need a drink. Not making light of a situation, but Josh Fagan, the court reporter from the Bendigo Advertiser, has been sitting in on the committal hearing of Harley Hicks, who we know has been charged with the murder of baby Zayden that happened last year. It is a case that has shocked a community. Josh joins me in the 3BO studio this morning on his way in to the last day of the committal hearing. Morning, Josh.
Morning, Sam. Good to be with you.
Yeah, thanks very much for your time. Mate, this has been a committal hearing that has revealed some very startling and at times horrific bits of information. How has that been for you to have to sit through and hear some of these things going on? I can only imagine how tough that must have been at times.
Look, it's obviously one of the more tragic cases that Bendigo's probably seen in recent history, and the awful details have sort of emerged so far, and it's been difficult for everyone involved in giving evidence and the people that have been sitting in on the case. It's obviously one of the more dreadful cases of a murder of an 11-month-old baby.
Mate, there's been, as I said, some very startling revelations in there. Every day seems to have thrown up something that just defies belief in a lot of occasions. Take us through the week and what we've found out so far about this case.
Yeah, so today we're approaching the fourth day and final day of the committal hearings. So we've heard from a range of witnesses in the first 3 days, among them police detectives and the leading investigator into the case, Detective Harwood from the Homicide Squad. So he's detailed evidence of the case against Hicks and the forensic examinations that they've done at the Eagle Hawk Road house where Zayden was found dead. We've also heard from the mother and stepfather of baby Zayden, and we've seen through court documents that have been released just the true extent of the horror of their tragic discovery on the morning of when they found baby Zayden dead in his cot. And it's been some of the more confronting evidence that's sort of been put to the court, and
yeah,
a lot of it conflicting, a lot of it raising more questions than it answers, and ultimately I think what the prosecution and the defence are trying to do is just establish the rare details of what people really wants to know and what detectives want to establish in terms of what actually happened.
Throughout the week we've heard from several different people. As you say, we've heard from baby Zayden's mother and stepfather, but also too from Harley Hicks's brothers, who also gave evidence. And this was, I suppose, seemed to have been crucial during the week. Tell us what they revealed.
Yeah, so we've heard from Harley's twin brother Ashley, who told the court that he remembers Harley dyeing his hair the day after the alleged offences. And we've also heard from Harley's older brother Joshua, whose house is where police later discovered a wallet belonging to baby Zayden's stepfather. So he's been quite a crucial link to the case, and in his evidence he's told the court that he recalls Harley arriving at his house in the early hours of the morning when Zayden was believed to have been killed. He said Harley arrived at his house at about 2:30 a.m. So the timeline is quite interesting when we've heard earlier in the week that both Zayden's mother and stepfather testified that they went to bed at about 2 a.m. on that morning. So we've heard a range of different views, and it's now, I guess, up to the magistrate to piece together what this evidence has uncovered.
Obviously, with a committal, this goes to deciding whether Harley Hicks will stand trial for the murder of baby Zayden. Where are things at the moment, going into the last day of the committal hearing?
Yeah, that's right. So we should know by today or shortly after today whether this will go to trial in the Supreme Court of Victoria. So at the moment, we've still got a number of witnesses to come on this final day of the hearing. We've got another detective and another police officer who acted as an undercover operative. So his evidence, I imagine, will be quite vital to what police have established in their homicide investigation. But we should know by sometime late today exactly where it's at in terms of progressing to a trial. I should stress that throughout the hearing and throughout the entire case, Harley Hicks has maintained his innocence.
How's his demeanour been within the last few weeks? There has been, as we say, some very horrific things that have come to light and accusations made and different evidence given. What have been his reactions to some of the things that have been said?
Yeah, he has appeared quite relaxed throughout the proceedings, even during some of the more grim details that have emerged. He's sat in the dock and he's, I guess, used the chance to wave to a number of his supporters, friends and family that have been in the public gallery in the court. He hasn't appeared overwhelmed by it at all.
Even the evidence from brothers and family members?
No, he's been quick to smile, and even in breaks during witnesses he's made jokes with people in the gallery, and a lot of people that have been in the gallery have expressed their support for Harley. A number have called out, "We love you, Harley." So it's been interesting to watch, and for that sort of persona, you imagine it must be difficult for him, but he's certainly not showing any signs of stress or being overwhelmed.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for coming in this morning. I know you've got to get off to court now. Well done on your coverage of what could only have been, as you say, some of the more confronting things that you've heard in your experience as a journalist. So well done on your coverage. It's been comprehensive, and I know it's been very hard to read some of the stuff too, but you've done a fantastic job, and we thank you for coming into the 3BO Morning Show.
Thanks, Dan.
On 93.5 3BO FM, as Josh said from the Bendigo Advertiser, Josh Fagan is the court reporter for them. We will find out later on today whether Harley Hicks will go to trial for the murder of baby Zayden, but it has been a case that has shocked Bendigo and been one of the more confronting, as I say, and shocking in history of cases that we've heard, and you can only imagine that the sadness and the trauma and the grief that it has caused for the family, but also the wider community too. So we'll watch that with great interest and also great sadness on 93.5 3BO